Hello, one and all. Josh Stewart here, your humble host of the podcast named InterBrews, which talks about beer with beer people, mostly in Houston, sometimes beyond, but mostly in Houston. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest with who we are. Another thing that I am is poor, and I need all your money. It is the holiday season, and this is where you can give back. It's not really giving back. You can just give a handout to a audio hobo. Your humble audio hobo standing at the intersection of your commute and your ears. That's me. That's InterBrews. Go to patreon.com/InterBrews or InterBrews.com/Patreon, either one, whichever one floats your boat, or click that link if you listen from the website. And for as little as $1 an episode, you too can help support the longest running, I think, I'm pretty sure, Houston audio show of any kind. Maybe Texas of any kind. I'm not sure. I think I'm the longest running. Not the most episodes, but the longest running. Anyway, so for as little as $1 an episode, or here's a thing I just realized by reading the small print, Adam, I didn't realize that you can do a one-time contribution of any amount. So if you placed money on SFA to beat Duke, and you just had a windfall of income, and you want to, share the wealth, you want to channel your inner Bernie, then, whatever. Do how you feel led. Don't let me stop you. Or if you just want to, listen to the show and enjoy it, I appreciate that too. So anyway, Patreon /InterBrews, that's where you go. On to the show, one and all. Let's do this.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
That bell means it's time. Angel got its wings. But, and your mail's here. This is the best intro we've ever done.
Cooper.
Do you need to answer that? Do we need to pause?
We have to wait.
We don't have to wait.
No, we don't have to answer it.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, then let's
We're
do
not
the...
open.
Okay. You want to do the intro now?
Sure.
All right. I'm not going to edit any of this out. This is how the show works. It's just how it goes. So...
Okay. Go for it?
No, yeah, just do it. Whenever you feel ready.
It's your turn, Adam.
3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, 1, and...
This is Adam and Sarah with Baileson Brewing
Boom.
on InterBrews.
It was a whole thing. Listen, if this show didn't start off in such a way to make you question why you were listening to it, we wouldn't be doing it right. Welcome to the show, one and all, like you just heard. Adam and Sarah here at Baileson Brewing on Bissonnet in the heart of Houston, just off of 59. Just off, mostly out, just off. It's right there. I passed under it.
It's like a 3-wood from 59.
Yes. Yeah. If
Really crush a 4-iron, you could get there.
maybe. Mine would not hit the part of 59 I'm aiming for, but yeah, eventually maybe. Anyway, hey guys, welcome back to your brewery, but welcome back onto the podcast.
Thanks for having us. Welcome back to Baileson.
Yeah, happy holiday season. Merry Christmas. You're the first people. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Wow,
Christmas.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're in December. We can say that now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I always try, once it gets to the 25th of November, you're like, this seems about right to start Christmas type things. But if you still have to get over that Thanksgiving hurdle, not that it's a hurdle that you dread, it's the best, all the food, like we have in front of us a little bit here. But yeah, now that we're past Thanksgiving, though, we're past that Black Friday, we're past Cyber Monday and Giving Saturday and, that Tuesday. And now we're here to Wednesday, Hump Day.
Regular old Wednesday.
Regular old Wednesday, Reindeer Wednesday. You can now say Merry Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. How's it going?
Good.
It's
Good.
going good, man. Life is good. The weather's been great. Living in Houston, this is the time to be here, right?
Yes.
This is when the snowbirds come. So
I know, right? It's been perfect. Like, especially if you have big doors and a brewery inside those big doors.
And a patio outside the big doors.
Yes. I've had so much social media envy with all of my friends here in Houston, my breweries owned by said friends and visiting breweries or whatever. We were out of town for the Thanksgiving week, and it was fun. But man, like I saw y'all's post where everybody's outside, and I'm like, oh man, that'd be awesome right now. Anyway, so congratulations on all this.
Thank you.
Cool. So what's been going on? It's been since I've been on InterBrews. It's been a minute. A year.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, you've been on Liquid Lunch. We did some things.
Is it New Year's last year?
I think.
Around New Year's?
I think so.
There was the Swayze party. Was that New Year's?
No,
That-
that was in July.
Yeah.
That was
July.
Liquid Lunch.
Yeah.
That was like
Yes. Yeah. It's all a mashup. It's fine.
Because then there was the one we did in the middle of
That-
the
yeah,
the
where
one-
Kennedy was sick.
Yeah.
It was cold.
I think that was around New Year's, right?
Yeah, and then there was what was it when you had there was a dunk tank. I was here with
That was our anniversary.
that was an
party.
anniversary.
But the one where we had the giveaway, remember it went to someone and
Mike.
they did not win it.
Mike won it. Oh, the little boy that
Yeah.
thought little girl that thought she won and she did
Oh,
not.
and we crushed her
Jeffrey.
dreams.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
That was-
terrible.
that
Anyway,
was a
so that
sad
was
day.
maybe the last time.
Probably. Yeah, I'll talk about not editing stuff out. That was so sad. that
Not all
maybe we-
bummers.
Saddest Christmas episode ever. Christmas time episode on a very special episode of InterBrews. Adam learns to feel.
A learning lesson.
Yeah. Well, let's jump right into some beer talk because I smell the turkey, the smoked turkey, and there's a Scotch ale. Or Scottish or Scotch? Is there a difference between Scottish and Scotch ale? I always figured one was a little more ABV or.
That's right. Yeah, pretty much. Scottish ale tends to be less than, call it 7%. I don't know the exact, if there is an exact number. And Scotch ales tend to be 7.5, 8 plus. Could get up to 11,
Yeah.
whatever.
Turn it to 11.
Super boozy, but yeah. And technically, so we like to put a little bit of peat smoked malt in there. We're Scotch drinkers, and we like the
Yes.
flavor that brings. That's not GABF wise, or not GABF.
BA?
The BA rules say you're not supposed to have in there, but we're not submitting it, so
Yeah.
so it's
Can we talk
fine.
some Scotch and some peat and some stuff like that?
Sure.
Did y'all get to go to the Renfest this year?
We did not. We have not been in a few years, actually.
I
know-
don't.
Yeah, you live up that way, right? Do you go?
No. Well, I mean, it's still an hour away. Everything's
really?
30. I mean, Houston, everything's 30 minutes away minimum.
Yeah.
That's just a normal trip.
Mm-hmm.
An hour, that's just. It almost took me an hour to get down here.
Mm-hmm.
Got behind that lawn truck, and then it's like my time start creeping up on my map. You always just try to keep that thing going just to have the time.
Yeah.
And so, anyway,
Or behind a train. We live not far from a train. And
Yeah.
You catch that, you got 10 minutes.
yeah, exactly. But it's time to take a breath and whatever. But anyway, at the Renfest, and I probably talked about it ad nauseum. If people listen to both shows, then they've heard it a bunch. But if they only listen to this show, they only heard it half as much. They do a Scotch tasting at the Renfest. Bruce Leslie, Griffin Mead, Griffin Mel. I don't know exactly what the title of his is coming back. Griffin was there in Willis, and then no longer, but then it's coming back. But anyway, he also knows Scotch, and he can speak with a Scottish accent and wear a kilt. And he knows Scotch really, really well. So there's a Scotch tasting. And I think we tried 7 different Scotches. And I don't know that I'd never had Scotch, but I've never had it and thought, wow, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to try a bunch that I really liked. And it was the 16-year Lagavulin? Is that how you pronounce it?
That's right.
Lagavulin?
Lagavulin.
Yeah, I like that. And it was smoky and peaty and it was good.
Yeah, Lagavulin's delicious. A little not quite, a little more balanced, than like a Lafroig or P Monster. And then there's others from Islay whiskeys, from the West Coast that they tend to have more of the peat to them. And as you know, that came from way back when they were smoking the malt that way, just like how they say there was probably a period where most beer had a smoky flavor just because they were always drying out the malt.
And turkey's
with
really
a
good.
Fire.
That's the smacking you hear.
Yeah.
It's really good. So this is smoked as well. So we're just like stereo smoke.
Yeah, a patron, a couple of patrons got us a turkey last couple of years from Greenberg Turkeys from Tyler, and they're delicious. And anyway, we're trying it now it's hickory smoked, and we're trying it with the Scottsdale or Scottish ale that's peat smoked. And I kind of like how you kind of get the hickory smoke, and then you get the sweet on the front end,
Yeah.
and then it's followed by the peat smoke on the back end.
Yeah, it's a different quality. So like this weekend, we spent all last week had an outdoor fire going the whole time, and it's just that kind of permeate, your clothes and everything, and you just kind of smell like nature and smoke, and it just seems right, like warm and comforting, I think.
Yeah.
And
It's like a barbecue or
something, yeah.
something around those.
Yeah, and when it's a little cold, because they had a TV outside too, so we watched all the football outside by the fire. It's pretty awesome.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and it really was. Shout out to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Their house, their fireplace, their TV. It was awesome. But anyway, that smoke. And then we went to the store to grab some. I found a $50 Specs card in my wallet that I didn't realize I had. I think from last Christmas.
Man.
So spent it all in one trip.
Amazing.
And one of the beers we picked up was the Grzycki from
Live Oak.
Live Oak. Yeah, which is just basically liquid smoke.
It is. It is.
And not for everybody. I enjoyed it. It's only 3% too. So if you're drinking all day,
I enjoy one.
Yeah.
Meaning the smoke can get it to be a lot, but
uh-huh.
Live Oak, you can almost alternate between those beers, the Weizenbach and that one, and the Hefeweizen, and just kind of, and you never really get above 5.5%. You can drink all day long and just alternate between those.
Yeah. And of course they do the Rauschfest or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just all smoked beers. But my brother-in-law and my cousin, they did not care for the smoked beer. They're like, oh my God, this is the worst. I don't know what that was. And again, that one's a little different. That's just, it's smoke. There's no malt sweetness. There's no meaty yumminess to kind of counterbalance. Because we tried something else. It was a Russian Imperial smout. It was a smoke stout. A smout.
That's a new thing you just created.
Yeah,
It's a new
smout.
beer.
Yeah, no, it was the Bo and Luke from what's the Louisville, Kentucky brewery. Anyway,
I know there is one that's you said Louisville.
yeah,
Oh man.
I could probably look it up, but it'll come to us.
Yeah, I'll take it in a minute.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a big beer that was also aged in whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels or something, and then they added smoked malt.
So we toyed with that with our, I don't know, you saw for the anniversary we did the Healer, our Russian Imperial Stout. We put in some barrels from a distillery called Corsair out of Nashville, and we ended up getting rye barrels. They're double rye or triple rye. Ended up using that, and we called it Rye-mageddon. But they had another barrel available at the time we got those that is a smoked whiskey barrel, and it was a bigger gamble, and we decided not to roll the dice and buy the barrels and have them shipped here, and if it didn't turn out the way we thought, but it was tempting. We may do that in the future.
Smoke is it's a thing, right? It's a whole nother thing that people don't even, I don't know, like when you think of, we go off in so many directions with beer. There's the big juicy IPAs, there's crazy yeast, there's all that, right? But smoke is one of those things where there's
another depth of flavor. They should have added that when they added umami to the potential
smoky
flavors.
goodness,
sour, salt,
yeah,
bitter.
sour. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you put it with other, smoke is a thing like that with that Grzycki, that it's a Polish style beer, right? And you put it by itself, and it's just like, okay, probably a very narrow, group of people are going to enjoy that one, but. You pair it with other stuff, the smoke flavor with other things like these two. These are two completely different like smoke flavors, if that makes sense. It's not just, it's really good. I like the pairing a lot. Good call on bringing that turkey.
Well, I knew if somebody would appreciate the pairing, if it worked out, it'd be you.
Oh, really? Look at me like that dude loves to eat.
No.
Oh.
No, you talk about pairings and things that you don't think would go good together. You talk about Reubens and how those pair well. You know what I'm saying?
And now you said the word. Now it's
now it's in your head.
It's a 3-day countdown until I must have one. If I haven't had one in 3 days, I could be breaking into some restaurant at 2 a.m. making my own.
Katz's lock your door.
Yeah, actually they're open 24 hours.
Oh, good point.
I don't have to break in. It's like, dude, just come in the door. Don't smash the window. Sorry, I didn't realize y'all were 24/7 everywhere now. Because the one in the Woodlands is now 24/7 too.
It is. Oh.
Yeah, they just upped it. So looks like a root trip for me for a Reuben. It's really good though. Anyway, enough about. I talk about Reuben, like a turkey Reuben. That's kind of what. Yeah. So maybe this will suffice. Maybe I can. Because if you eat too many Reubens, there's that whole getting fat thing. Yeah,
Yep.
trying to avoid that.
That could happen.
Yeah.
I think if you eat too much of anything, that will happen.
Not salad.
Yeah. Can you eat too much salad?
Yeah.
Like just more than a
Be
salad
in the
is too much.
bathroom all day.
Just one salad that was just enough. After that, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Fruit salad. I could probably eat a lot of fruit salad. I could probably eat too much fruit salad.
That's cheating. Doesn't that have something? That has something sweet in it, right?
Yeah, taco salad. Just a fried
Sodium.
meat bowl with some lettuce thrown on top.
Yeah.
It's basically a taco.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, call it a salad. Self-esteem lifter there.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, though. Good. Scotch. So, okay, peat smoke. Did you... Okay, what made you... Okay, so Scotch, right? There's the tie-in there.
Right.
Peat has such a unique... it's what's the... like earthy
It's
kind
more-
of something.
Yeah, more of a earthy, bold flavor than like the hickory or something that's sweeter wood. You know, that imparts this, and it may be just the way we interpret it. I don't know that it's not actually sweeter. Obviously, there's not sugar, but it just maybe your brain ties it to things that you had that are sweet. But I don't know. It just seemed to fit. But that one was particularly because it was in a Scottish style. So
I like that a lot.
thank you.
Yeah.
Glad you like it.
Oh, it's really good. That's a sipper.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost I don't know. That might be enough to get the Scotch fix if you can't get like good Scotch. If you're that's really good. Like kind of hangs in there too for a minute, and so it kind of develops after you swallow it. Swallow it.
Swallow it.
It's that smoky comes up through the back of your head.
Yeah, it does.
It's real nice. I like that. That's my recommendation. That's a holiday for sure. Come drink that outside. You need to wear flannel. Check the weather.
Yes.
Hopefully darker flannel. Maybe like your shirt up here. That's a perfect color. You should call that your Scottsdale drinking shirt.
Done. Done.
Put a little. What is that? The flower. That's a milk. That's not thistle. Is it? What is that? There's a Scottish. The flower on the logo. That's from the Braveheart. What is that called?
Yeah. Did he tell
Thistle
you?
is what I was going to say.
Yeah,
But I don't know that that's right.
It's like a
we didn't. Our artist did that, so that's a very good question.
it's like a thistle thing.
Yeah,
It's like
a thistly flowery thing.
Thistle.
Mhm.
A
Desert flower, maybe.
no. It's like the one
It's
from
Scottish,
yeah.
yeah.
It's Scottish. Yeah.
It's from Braveheart. It's the one that she gave to young
Yeah.
William Wallace at the funeral of his father. What was his dad's name?
Oh man.
Henry. No, that was
Sure.
Henry Wallace.
I've seen that movie probably 30 times, but I have not seen it in probably I don't know how many years.
I don't know. It's been a little while for me too. I don't know that honestly. I don't know that it holds up as well as.
Well, like how about that versus Gladiator? I mean, do you think one holds up better than the other over time?
I think after Joaquin Phoenix did Joker,
Mm-hmm.
more people are going to say Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. They talked about doing a sequel to Gladiator.
Really?
Did they really?
Mm-hmm. Like bringing him back from the dead. Or
Oh,
something.
come on.
Space
You
aliens.
get
I
a
don't
prequel
know.
or something on that where he's in the armies.
That would be
he's
cool.
Developing to be the general. I can
Yeah.
see that. You gotta watch that.
I'm a little over prequels though.
Yeah.
I feel like some people should just realize sometimes you miss your opportunity.
Did you go see the new? I know you're a Rocky fan. There's a new Rocky out. No, not Rocky. Rambo.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't either.
You weren't first in line?
No, I don't go out. See, now that I'm not old, but
You're younger than me.
yeah, am I?
Yeah.
How old are you?
40.
Barely. I'm like 3 days young. When's your birthday?
April.
Yeah, I'm like 5 months or whatever.
I'm just saying, you're not that old. Hopefully.
no, but I'm past going most places.
Yeah. Sure.
Unless it's super special, like here. This is super special, So don't just go to the movies with all the people. Oh wait, yeah. This is one of the trappings to food. I want to sit here and eat this turkey, just not.
We just trade off. I'm eating now. Now you can eat. Now
Okay, I'll wait.
Talk. I can talk. You
No,
eat.
yeah, no. I'm going to move on to the next beer. This is STP, right?
Mm-hmm.
For this show, I did a little STP listening,
Oh, nice.
just to get my spirit in the right.
I just saw yesterday they're coming out with an all acoustic album.
Is it new stuff or
Yeah,
is it?
It's new. Yeah, I know.
What do you
I
think
know.
about that?
It's not. Well, it's all I've got right now. It's I can. I mean, in terms of new music from them, it's just there's not going to be.
It's not going to be the same.
It's not.
It's not
I've seen them live and
With?
Jeff Gutt.
Oh,
Jeff, the
but
new
not with
singer.
Scott Weiland.
No, he's.
I mean, you
He's
did
deceased.
see him back in the day.
Oh yeah, ton of times.
Okay.
Ton of times. And I saw him with Chester Bennington before he passed away also.
Right.
Because he filled in for them.
Would you want to be in that band knowing what they do to lead singers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
I mean,
Is that your favorite band from back in the day?
oh yeah. There's a sign right there.
Was that? Yeah. Was that? You okay? Does it get
Yeah,
emotional?
the turkey got in there.
What? Okay. Better album, Core or Purple?
Core, but they're different.
They
I
are
mean,
different.
Core is a little more, pure rock, and Purple is a little more artistic, and you could see them shifting as they kept moving on down, like Pearl Jam did. I mean, they all sort of did the same thing.
They evolved.
Mm-hmm. They
Yeah.
evolved.
That was a good time for music. I don't feel like
Even
there's.
Metallica did that to a degree, in my
That's true.
opinion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
More rock, less metal as time went on.
That's
how it
true.
felt.
That's true.
Maybe it's an age thing.
Maybe. What about? I enjoyed 4. That was their 4th album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it got as much love as it should have, but it came
No.
out. I was working at a radio station when it came out, and it's like that black CD. It was
Yeah.
back with CD covers.
Yeah,
those were great because
Big White Star.
Yeah,
Down was on that, and when that came out, it was like, oh, we're back, because we'd gone through 2. There was Purple, and then there was the Vatican Gift Shop album, and then it was like, oh man, you're getting that. When you get that taste of the original music back, you say, oh, they're back. It's that one was good. Atlanta on there is good. There's a couple other songs that were definitely that I still listen to now. So
yeah. What was the one with the video with Sarah Michelle Gellar? Something
Sour Girl.
Sour Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that
Sarah
wasn't one of
Michelle.
my favorites, but
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
But, classic Sarah Michelle Gellar was,
yeah,
was all right.
yeah, it was all right.
Adam's a Jennifer Love Hewitt guy.
Oh, you're in that
Yes.
camp.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason we got along, but then there was also that tension. She's fine.
Yeah, she is.
She little pop quiz. What show did she get her start on?
Was it before Party
wait.
of 5?
Mm-hmm. When she was a kid.
Oh man,
She went simply by Love Hewitt.
I'm not.
First
I'm
name
not
Love,
creepy.
last name Hewitt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not creepy enough to go back and watch when she was like 10.
You may have watched this show. Did you have
I'm gonna go with Punky Brewster, but I don't know
Oh
if
no!
that's right.
Okay, here you go. Did you have the Disney Channel growing up back when it was a premium channel that your parents had to pay for?
No.
We didn't have cable where I lived till I was basically in 17.
So that's a solid no.
That's a no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a channel called the Disney Channel. Not now. There's Disney Plus that everybody has, right? And you have. Maybe they'll put this on there. I don't know who owns the rights to it. Ooh, that's something to dig into. Kids Incorporated. Have you ever heard of that show, Kids
Oh,
Incorporated?
Yeah.
She was on I think the final 2 seasons of Kids Incorporated.
Never heard of it.
What? It was kind of like a sketch variety show for.
No. It was about the kids in a band at a place called The Place, because it used to be called The Palace, but the neon sign, the A, burned out, and I guess they didn't have the funding to change the name. Fergie was
on there?
She was on from the original season. She's about that tall. She was probably like 6 when she started on that show at season 1. This is probably back in 87, 86, 87, something like that. Yeah. And then Martika, you remember Martika? She sang that song Toy Soldiers.
Oh yeah, no,
She was on there the first season, or maybe 2 seasons. You remember the kid from Monster Squad, the older kid that rode the bike, with the black. You remember Monster Squad?
No.
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 With me, it was probably a time. It was a access to it issue. With her, it was probably a timeline issue of Too Young.
Oh, it's on.
No.
Do y'all have Prime? Amazon Prime?
We do.
Oh, is it a show now?
No. It's a movie from back then, but it's there. It's streaming on Prime Video. Prime.
Oh, to go check it out.
I have to look that
Oh,
up.
speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Unless
No.
Segue.
yeah, segue. Jack Ryan, do you watch that?
I haven't yet. Here's
good.
Is it? So here's my thing. I've always gotten like 6 seasons into The Office and then just stopped. And then every time I see that show, I'm like,
I know. I struggle with this too.
I can't watch Jim
I know.
and then go back and watch
I know.
Jim as Jim after he's been.
So Sarah and somebody else here feel like there's no issue with that, and it's growing on me, but I still am dealing with that. I just
Like, could they be the same person?
I just can't see. He's too goofy,
Yeah.
It's like, because I think of Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
and he's not as goofy. I mean, he's still a softer character, which is what Jack Ryan's supposed to be as a economist.
Ben
or
Affleck.
whatever.
Ben Affleck had a round.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Some of All Fears.
Some of All Fears.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Wasn't there another one?
Yeah, with Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the latest one before. Well, that was a movie, right?
That was a movie.
So
Yeah.
Sarah turned me on to this. I didn't. She watched the first season and then said it was awesome, and then we watched the second season together, or most of it.
We didn't watch
Oh, that's right, because it's all you just watch them all in one sitting almost, and then we went back and watched the first one. I think you said you liked the first season the best, right?
I think they're both fine.
Yeah.
There's 2 seasons. The second one just came out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's on my list, but I've got to get through. I've got how many seasons of The Office were there? 8, 10? I don't know.
Didn't watch it.
We weren't the biggest Office fans. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, there were good parts. Michael just kind of got on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of myself in Michael. If I were, that's why I can never be the boss. If I were the boss, that would be me.
Dwight and Jim were entertaining. I mean, some of the other characters were entertaining. It was Michael that got to me the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To each his own.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the episode where he leaves, so it's maybe it got better after that for you, or it just vortex down. I
I
don't
think
know.
at that point I may have already tuned out, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty far into it.
Like how when Frasier just went,
Yeah.
because you're talking about kind of, Seinfeld and that period, and then Frasier was sort of on, and because of carryover from Cheers. Cheers was so great. Frasier was good like the first, 3 or 4 seasons, then it just they went like full drama, and it went.
Yeah.
And I
Same
stopped
thing.
watching.
Then it was Friends, and then it was Joey, which 2 episodes maybe was good. I don't know. I don't think I watched. I think I watched 1 episode. I didn't. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, Prime Video, Jack Ryan.
Yeah. That's right.
We've been looking for a new show, but I got to get through The Office before we start that one.
Because remember, we're not HBO people, so we're not Game of Thrones. We didn't. So really, the only show that was sort of bingey that we got into was Breaking Bad, because that was on cable.
That show's awesome.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing twice.
Oh, did you?
We barely made it through the first season.
We did not. What do you mean?
I mean, we started at the last season when the last season started, so we had to catch up, and then it took us a while.
Oh yeah, we didn't start right.
No, neither did I.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying you watched all seasons twice?
Yeah.
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 That's a commitment.
Well, okay, so yeah, we did that when we caught up. I think second to last season is when we had to watch it week to week, which is painful. Once you've been binging, and then you have to like go to once a week, and then they have
What am I,
off-season.
caveman?
Yeah. What is it? It's savagery. So then I watched it all the way through again because I was like, was it that good? And I think like when you watch a show all together, you kind of get more of the overarching storylines. Like with this podcast, if you go all the way back to episode 1 and listen to now, you'll get this overarching storyline and like mid-season storyline. So like episode like 94 through episode like 142, there's like a mini arc here on this podcast that only people that binge them all. Well, that's not true.
Well, you do miss things when there's a gap between. You kind of don't put it together. But I bet you could take your episodes and sort of go from the beginning up to when the boom happened. You know what I'm saying in terms of how many. When we had 1 brewery, 2 breweries, and there was like it got to be like 5. It was basically, I guess maybe after Buffalo. Somewhere in that range, like 4 or 5, and then there was like 4 a year, and then it went up. But I bet just there would be a change in kind of what you're talking about in the narrative of those episodes versus.
Yeah, and then listening to people's first episodes versus their second and third. I'm trying
the
to
first
think.
time we're on, we're like,
No, y'all are great. I think there's more podcasts out there too, so people are doing more like interviews and things like that, right? Is that just?
No, I just listened. I don't know. I only know yours.
You've only been on this one?
Yeah.
You've been on it.
No, we've been on ours, but I mean, this is the one.
I like it when people are on other
their
podcasts
favorite.
because then I listen. I'm like, they were better on mine.
Such a
Yeah.
good person.
No, it's let me see. Oh, hold on. Let me look at this. I'm gonna pause this. And we're back. Fried eggs.
Still eating turkey.
Yeah. No, the perfect way to cook a fried egg, preferred way. We said Sarah, you said over medium is what that's called.
That's still a runny yolk.
Okay. Thick but runny. Yeah.
Isn't over medium more cooked than over easy?
Yes. And then there's over hard.
It is.
But sunny side up is essentially right before you make it over easy, right?
But sunny side up, you don't flip it.
You steam the
I
top.
know
Can you
that. I
steam
mean,
the top?
I
Can you
know
put a
that.
lid and
But
steam it?
Yeah.
My point is, once you've cooked it, like when you go over easy, you don't flip it when the membrane is still liquid, right? Am I cooking eggs the wrong way?
I don't know. First of all, do you use a lot of butter, right?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Pam.
Lazy. Done.
No, you gotta go real butter. Kerry Gold butter.
Well, to be fair, we're already cooking it in bacon grease.
Okay,
Did I
that's.
say that?
I like to do a little bacon grease and a little butter.
Oh.
If I do like bacon before, pour off some of the grease, but then leave the bacony bits and just a little bit, and then
And
a
to
little
be
butter.
fair, when we make turkey bacon, when we do that, you should add butter for that, right? Because that's a dry pan essentially. It's just little chunks of turkey.
If one were to make turkey bacon,
We do occasionally.
I make turkey bacon. I like turkey bacon.
is it actually bacon? I think it's just strips of turkey.
No, it's definitely not bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're fooling ourselves.
Yeah.
It tastes okay.
It's like-
it's not terrible.
Yeah.
We'll try it your way this weekend.
Okay.
Real bacon.
Yeah.
Butter,
Let's see who lives the longest, then we can talk about it.
Okay. Go. And go. Still got you. Actually,
hey,
you're older than
Pulling
I.
ahead.
You've outpaced me. You had a head start. It's not even fair. On the break, which I didn't even have to talk about because I think I could have edited it. I probably should do more of that. It's a pod. People understand.
Let it ride.
I think
Anytime
that
you say you should probably do something, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Then no.
Yeah.
I'm not editing. Unless it's like.
Unless it's like I probably should do my taxes.
Yeah. If the microphone falls off the stand or if the whatever, I'll edit that out. Or if somebody farts and doesn't want that in. Kennedy sometimes has. We'll let one go on Liquid Lunch.
I know. And he acknowledges it verbally.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone else has just come in the room.
That's a little plug right there. If you're listening to this podcast and you are hanging around on a noon on Thursday, join us live for Liquid Lunch. It's a fun time. It's a party.
Absolutely.
Every Thursday.
Always a good time.
Let me bounce something off y'all. Since Kennedy's not here and I can just kind of throw stuff out, what would y'all think if that went to 2 days a week? Would that be too? You think that'd be too much? We're trying to cover more Texas.
I'd be more likely to catch one of them per week if it wasn't only Thursday at noon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But am I going to make both of them? Most likely not.
Right.
So
Well, it's like your favorite radio show back when radio was still a thing.
Outlaw Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would catch it when you caught it.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's podcast form, and you can go back on YouTube when Kennedy catches up with posting those shows. I think he's caught up now. I think I saw that he got caught up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think so.
That whole internet thing, he's old, so it kind of gives him some fits, like the tags and things like that. He's like, skin tag? I'm like, no.
Kennedy's getting a bad rap today.
Yeah. Well, he's not here.
That's what happens when you don't show up.
Yeah. That's fine. He's used to it. He'd feel bad if we didn't. He'd be like, oh, they forgot me.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot myself. Where am I? That's how old he is.
You should bring a cardboard cutout.
No.
No.
Put
hats on him and stuff.
Yeah, if you turn it around, face the other way. Have it face out the window.
Like Blair Witch Project, put him in the corner.
Yeah, cause wrecks. People, what is that? I'm just kidding. I mean, not really, but whatever. Anyway, so y'all are married. I'm married. Kennedy, Jules, y'all should get married. They just went to Thanksgiving. This is a spoiler alert. This is
Florida?
No, they went to
His family.
Yeah, in Amarillo.
Oh.
They were in here. Her and Catherine were here this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were they talking about rings or anything like that?
Not with me.
But seriously, right? They should get married. Being married's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It has its moments.
It's more better than it is not better. Is there anybody else you'd rather argue with? Bicker.
Every question is loaded. I got to think before I answer anything now.
I'm saying if you're going to have
now I'm like running for office.
if you're going to have a heated argument with somebody, right? It's going to get resolved. It has to. You can't not resolve it. Eventually.
True.
You don't have to agree necessarily.
True,
But
but there's no one that makes me as angry as
That's
Adam can.
Right.
So true.
It's passion.
Because you can just walk away from anything else. I mean, unless it's just somebody like cuts you off or,
Right.
then you're mad, very mad for a very short period of time, but it's over because you're
Right.
going to see that person again. So
Probably.
yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
It's the whole circle, right? That makes it better. You come back, you're angry, you get more angry than anybody. You shake and maybe even walk out and walk around the block or something.
I prefer to just not be angry in the first place, but some people like that circle every day. I'm not somebody and looking at Sarah. I'm just saying some people like Housewives, right? Or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Real Housewives.
Yeah. Like that's just like a constant like fight, makeup, fight, makeup, fight, makeup. That's the whole. That's why people tune in. It's not funny.
Oh, I've never.
It's not a comedy.
I've never watched
Right?
the show.
Well, I mean, I watch it when I come in and out of the room, and it's.
Sarah, do you watch that?
Do.
Is it a guilty pleasure or just a pleasure?
It's a train wreck.
Yeah.
I can't not watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm trying to think what my guilty pleasure is. Are cooking shows of things I'm never going to cook.
Oh, guilty pleasure just on TV we're talking about?
I guess. Yeah, I don't want to get into that other stuff. Due to liability and, wanting to show
drug
my face.
tests and whatnot.
I show my face in public, that sort of thing. I think, I don't know, TV, like viewing. I do a lot of dumb YouTube viewing. Like old school wrestling commentary and things like that.
Yeah, I know you have that wrestling. That's your guilty pleasure is wrestling. Right?
Probably. Yeah, it is.
For me, I get on music videos on YouTube, and then it's like it never ends.
Yeah,
I can't stop.
I can do some of that too.
Because there's like 5 of them on the right hand side, and of those 5, there's going to be one I'm going to want to watch.
Yep. Just jump down that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Music. Yeah, I like music. Like there's a few that like hit you, and you have to come back to it. And I feel bad saying. Well, did you see the when Led Zeppelin was inducted into or they did the Kennedy Honors thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth watching when they did Stairway.
Mm-hmm.
It's Heart. What's the lead singer of Heart? What's her name? Nancy, whatever.
Wilson.
Yeah. She sang lead, and then they had the guitarist. What's the guitarist from Heart? Anyway, she's played guitar, and then what was the drummer from Led Zeppelin?
Jason
Bonham?
or John Bonham.
John Bonham.
His son's Jason Bonham. Yeah.
He played drums on it, and then
he's the drummer in Led Zeppelin Experience or whatever. They tour around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the actual guys they were all up there with the medals with the rainbow thing on. They were all watching in their tuxedos. Yeah, and then
right. No, I know. I get how the Kennedy Center. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then they had this big massive. It was so the musicians are probably some of the best musicians you can find, like technically speaking. They're not rock and roll musicians, but they played the shit out of that song. And then they had a choir and all this other stuff like behind it. It was it's one of those things where I've watched it probably 100 times.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's would I call that a guilty pleasure? A little bit, because it's not like that's not rock and roll. That's they took it and then polished it up a little too much, but it's just really good.
It's just fun to watch.
Yeah. There's a few other. I'm trying to think what else.
Oh man, I have a ton of those. Yeah.
Like Chris Cornell, like acoustic sets and stuff.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, old Alice in Chains, acoustic, Nirvana, acoustic. Some of them in concert. Sometimes the audio is not very good in concert.
Right.
There's other things. You remember when because YouTube's good about like it'll tell you your favorites or things that you used to watch or something.
Yeah.
It kind of does reminders, kind of like Facebook does.
Yeah.
There's the one I just like from a sports. Sometimes I like sports clips that were when I was a kid or whatever, and they were just so exciting. Like there's Jordan ones or when the U.S. beat the. Was it no, it wasn't the Germans.
Soviet.
The French and that swimming when Phelps was in it his first year, the 4x4 or whatever.
Yeah.
With God dang, what was the guy's name that was called that? Dan Hicks.
Okay.
Oh man, something about it. I can watch that a million times. I get adrenaline because it's like 3-4 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're behind, and they're saying there's no way we could ever win, and it's like the Russian U.S. hockey kind of deal, but condensed down to 3 minutes.
Right.
Oh,
if you want another one that'll give you goosebumps, go watch Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show on SmackDown from 2004. I don't even want to give it away. I want to show you the clip.
Okay.
Because the way they build it up and the way the crowd reacts.
I got a Ticketmaster email or something, one of those deals about there's something coming here that's like a Two Worlds Collide wrestling thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Have you heard about this?
No.
You should look into that. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I don't know. The newer stuff doesn't intrigue me as much as the classic stuff.
A friend of mine that's one of the beers is actually named after from grad school. He was working here. He's not here. He doesn't live here anymore. And he had a friend that they got tickets to one of the WrestleManias that was at Reliant, and he had done some work, and so they got some tickets. And he ended up going backstage, and his friend, I think, probably had too many beers or something beforehand, and started taking pictures. And they reacted negatively to that, and he got wrestled himself, and they end up kicking him out of the whole thing. They didn't even see any wrestling.
That's cooler story though. I mean, you can always go back and watch the video of what happened.
Yeah,
you could never not get headlocked by.
If you got tackled by like one of the actual wrestlers, that would be cool. But the bodyguard or whatever.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, Vince McMahon punched me in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He should just tell it that way, right?
That's what I would say.
I mean, no one could.
You can't dispute it. Yeah. Legend. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty cool. I would totally. Well, no, I don't want to get punched in the face. Maybe. Depends on who's doing it, I guess. For the story.
It's like a good slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sleeper hold, something.
Yeah. You pass out. You're passed out for what? 10 minutes, maybe max?
Oh, no.
But you have this, maybe.
Just
Like
as
max.
soon as the blood goes back to your brain.
Well, I'm saying then you're back with it after 10 minutes.
Sure.
Maybe you're a little woozy.
Sure.
Maybe a headache.
Yeah.
They have EMS backstage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, stories last forever.
Yeah.
And it gets better every time you tell it.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you modify it slightly.
Exactly.
Unknowingly, I think, as you get older.
Right. It's like my first Christmas when we were married, driving to Arkansas in the ice storm.
Mm-hmm.
I've told the story before on the podcast, but I'll paraphrase that it had to do with ice storm. Between Texarkana and Little Rock, normally takes 2 hours, took 14 hours
Oh.
because there was just ice, and people have to go to the bathroom. And sometimes, it's you do what you got to do. And so we had a cooler, and it was our first Christmas together. And so me and my wife got to know each other a lot better on that trip.
I think I've heard this story.
Yeah, it's it takes a lot of energy to tell that story. And my wife had to poop in a cooler.
Oh, there it is.
And there's some nuanced details to that whole story. But we were in an SUV. She was it's pretty bad. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Things that bring you closer.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of those. You need that. Have y'all had any, I don't know, stories? Not like that.
Defecation related?
You don't have to disclose all that. But I'm saying, your first time, some interesting, super embarrassing, human stuff that you try to keep secret, but then I don't know. There's steps to a relationship. And then you just, for some reason, somehow you get comfortable with another person.
Let's think about it. I can't think
about it.
Okay, well, I'll think.
Poop talk used to make Adam a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't used
I
to
don't
like
love
that.
Huh?
I don't love it.
Even now?
Oh,
Anybody or just...
No, it's fine. It's grown on me.
Everybody does it. You realize that, right?
Everybody
If you don't, you're not
does it.
healthy.
Yeah.
You want everybody to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, because if they don't, how bad of a day would not just them, but everybody around them be having?
If you can't go.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the other day we heard this story about it's a couple that comes in and their dog goes to a camp, like once a week, goes to run around at some ranch with other dogs.
Mm-hmm. In
and
the area?
The lady.
There's one. I saw one over here.
Is there?
A bunch
I
of
don't-
dogs frolicking.
Drives
No,
them out.
they
No,
take
they drive them
them
out of
out
town.
to-
Oh.
Yeah, they hike, whatever they would call it.
Oh.
It's some nice area. So anyway, they were bringing them back because they pick them up and bring them back for you. It's like a daycare kind of
Oh,
thing.
wow.
And they were bringing them back, and this woman's dog had explosive diarrhea in the back of the SUV. And it went on the other dogs, and the lady pulled over immediately and got out and went around and opened the thing, and the dog slung the stuff everywhere, and it got all over her face and all. And I was thinking, explosive diarrhea is bad, but think about if you can't go. Imagine what explosive constipation would be like. It'd be like a rifle.
Or like a bomb.
Oh, like a shrapnel bomb?
From the inside, you would explode eventually. Well, yeah, eventually you would explode.
See, I don't
explosive
think-
constipation.
That's what happens. Isn't that what happens when you give a rat Coca-Cola?
I think those are Mentos. I don't.
No, I think my
Rice
dad.
tours.
Somebody told me that. Yeah, you'd give him. You put Coke out. And I kept thinking it's got to stay carbonated. Like, how long is this rat gonna? Like, it has to be like right there, ready to drink. But in theory, they said that rats and other vermin of some kind can't, burp. So CO2 just causes them. I don't think they explode, but it
They
could be a
float
totally
away.
urban tale. I know.
Oh, we should try it.
People are going to be fact checking you
Yeah.
right now, Adam.
Yeah, they're Googling it now. PETA is on the march.
Yep.
They are.
Okay, is it better than poisoning them or snapping them in a trap? And I don't think people are releasing them in the wild anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. What is an ethical way to murder a rat? Is it okay to snap their neck or put 'em in-
Guillotine?
Glue trap and then laugh at them until they die of depression or whatever they do in a glue trap? Glue traps. That you gotta take care of the dirty work yourself in that
Because
regard.
they just basically scream till they die, right? Once
But,
they're trapped.
Yeah, they just die of panic. That seems pleasant. I don't know. Yeah, or you get a cat to maul them to death. Like having a pet bear for home defense.
That works.
I'm still on this whole kick that we need more bears in society.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to
You should live in Chicago. That'll take care of that.
they get people get too anxious, right? Because we don't have any real problems.
Oh, you're doing it's kind of like the purge is what you're talking about.
Not necessarily the purge, just I don't even know that we need an actual, maybe just like one bear actually, like for a weekend, where enough people see it to where everybody's like, oh, there's a bear. Watch your back, there's a bear.
Truth be, I mean, you really could just say there is a bear loose, and I think most people would believe that. It would be eventually they would stop believing you because
Right.
So you're right. You'd need somebody running
You
around
need
a bear
claw
suit.
marks or something, Yeah, you would need to get verification on that whole what goes on in the woods between a bear.
So you don't think general murders, muggings, and robbery is enough? You think you need an actual bear?
I think an actual bear, because even the murderers and muggers would fear a bear, and they'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in this dark alley right now.
So you're essentially just trying to bring back the food chain, put us back in order here.
Just
Because we're at the top of the food
an
chain. It's
appreciation
kinda
of
messed with everything.
not getting eaten.
Yeah.
I think people don't have an appreciation of not getting eaten by a bear.
So what happens if you shoot the bear? Then you
can't-
death penalty?
Well, no, you can't shoot a gun in the city limits.
Okay. But if you're faced with a bear, I don't know if the law is going to really matter anymore.
We'll
People
put a
say-
Kevlar vest on that bear.
Yeah, but the shooting's not supposed to work with bears.
Then you
You're
should
supposed
shoot
to
him in
make
the
yourself-
face like they should do in every movie.
You should make
He's
him-
going to have full SWAT gear on with
Yeah,
the mask.
Make
Yeah.
yourself bigger than a bear.
Robo Bear.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, you gotta either play dead or get big.
I heard the play dead thing is not a valid
No?
form of defense.
Oh.
You're supposed to make yourself bigger. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
You're supposed to step on their toes and slap them in the face, and then run away.
Three stooge them.
The same things you do. Same thing you
Yes,
do with a
sir.
shark. You just punch it in the nose.
You just hold your fist like this, and they hit it, and think like that. Is that what you? Maybe we need to get a bear expert. Can we do get somebody from the zoo to come over and tell us about
So
bears?
you came here to talk about beer, and now you want a bear expert? It was close. We were close, but we didn't hit the.
Well,
hit the
so
mark.
is beer and bear.
Yeah.
They're a letter off.
Yeah.
A.
In fact, I've seen Kennedy wear a shirt in here that has the beer deer, the
Yeah.
bear deer, beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Beer, bear, deer.
Maybe we do a show with a bear expert and raise money for bear, whatever, bear education.
I like this.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
We're close to the zoo.
We
We
can
can figure this out.
and we could pick any kind of bear. We can do koalas or pandas or black.
Oh, was
or
that what you were
brown.
talking about? Releasing into the city as a koala bear?
Well, you
Scare
could
everybody?
you could do that. You could tell you could put some claw marks around the city, maybe a little fake blood or something, maybe even real cow's blood or something. From it, just throw a steak.
Well, we
Against
got
the
plenty of rat's blood, right? We don't care about them. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just murder some rats. But then, when you can say the politicians or whomever can say with a straight face there is a bear, in the wild running around the city of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a koala bear. You can get hugged to death.
Will you get what is it? Gonorrhea?
I mean,
Koalas have gonorrhea?
I'm pretty sure they're a carrier of
Or
some.
does everybody have gonorrhea?
no, they have a special, it's the cutest form of gonorrhea though, let's be honest. If you're going to get gonorrhea, that's the way to
after
go.
this episode, you're right about the fact checking. You almost have to. You know how what is that show on ESPN where they come back at the end and they do all the fact checking in the last minute?
Outside the lines? Is it
Yes.
outside the lines?
No, that's like a documentary type show.
Oh.
But, it's the one they do every day where it's timed.
Above the board,
No.
beyond the basket.
think of it
30
in a
for 30?
No.
Sports Center. It's the one with the list on the side of the screen.
Yes.
Is it still on?
The bald guy
Oh,
and Will Burns on it.
PTI.
Yes.
Pardon the interruption.
Yeah.
Sarah, yes.
Yes. Awesome. There you go. See, that's how conversations used to go.
Yeah.
Before pre-internet. What
Yep.
was that thing? And then you spent
I
50
know.
minutes trying to figure it out, and then
Yeah.
somebody finally, and if you couldn't, you just
I
came.
say it all the time. I'm a big advocate. Work through it.
Yeah.
Now, if you've had 6 beers, 7, 8, maybe you're never going to get there, but
No.
You just come to a different conclusion.
Yeah.
May not be the right one.
fictional.
People would be remiss. They're probably like, well, they're talking more about beer. We have there's a couple of people that are like, you should talk more about beer. So the beer that I'm about to finish, which one is this Juice Box?
That's
That's
the
the-
Dean.
Oh, the Dean.
Yeah,
The
so that's-
double IPA. I should have known that because it's, not as hazy as the hazy.
That's the, yeah. So that one's Mosaic, Azaka, and Idaho 7.
Mm.
And you can tell, I get vanilla from it, from, the hops.
Mhm.
But obviously it's a pretty simple malt bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then some good strong character on the back, a little bit, I almost get like a little bit of wood to it. And there's none of that going on. But anyway, it's an interesting one. And it's very fresh. That was kegged, yesterday, Dave?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. That's
2 days ago.
tasty. You say Mosaic? Citrusy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Azaka, you always get the kind of deeper fruit, somewhat tropical.
Yeah.
Idaho 7's the weirdest one. That's the one that's more unpredictable to me. And I think that's where the vanilla mainly comes from. But That's just how I interpret it. You may not taste it.
Yeah, I don't know if I get vanilla. I even like when you say it. Typically, that'll pop into my head because I'm a follower. Like I said, I don't make decisions. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. No, I taste that.
Are you easily hypnotized?
Huh?
You're hypnotized right now. Yeah. I keep wanting to eat some more of this turkey, but I don't
it.
want the smoke. No, I don't want the smoke back in my palate. It took 30 minutes to get it out.
Here you go.
Problem solved.
Save it for the bears.
Yeah.
You need something for when the bears come. Mm-hmm. Throw it, and they'll go after that.
Yeah.
Always keep a steak.
There's a bear on Bissonnet.
Yeah, the Bissonnet bear.
Yeah.
The Bearsonet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bearsonet.
Or what could it?
It's also what the bears keep their baby infants in.
Yeah, Bearsonet. Yeah. Aw, there you go. This Christmas, don't just get a bear. Get the Bearsonet for all your bears.
The Bear Workshop will probably start selling that now.
Yeah, build a Bearsonet.
Trademark.
We should open up a Build a Bearsonet next to Build a Bear.
Yeah.
We'd make a killing. Not like a bear, like not a mauling, but a killing. Okay. Okay, so the Dean, that was good. I recommend that.
Thank you.
84 IBUs. IBUs, I don't know. Is there as much talk about IBUs as there used to be? I don't feel like when we were in
No.
like prime IBU.
That one's a sneaky 84 too. You don't really taste that. I mean, it's a little bit on the back end, but again, it's a double 8.5%, so it's a little sneaky. You're right. We still put it up there because people will ask.
Yeah,
believe
it's
it
a
or not.
good general guideline, but I
Yeah.
feel like IBU talk was hard and heavy like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before the haze craze.
Yeah.
Right.
Before the juice was loose.
Well, it took a very heavy education in craft for us to get to having this many craft breweries, right? If people don't know what they're not going to be interested in drinking if they don't understand what they're doing drinking. So it made sense that a lot of people had to be talking about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like with sours. I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't anybody be drinking a sour beer? But once you kind of get educated on what it is and you have a few, you're like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
But people are still hung up on IBUs that come in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They see that and they're like, no. It's like, just try it.
Yeah. Because IBUs are not, it's not necessary. Like just the IBU number, it doesn't, it's not indicative. It doesn't, an IBU is not an IBU.
Yeah.
It's relative.
Yeah.
It's not a defining factor in how the beer is going to taste.
Right. It's like there needs to be whatever quality that they're not into, like the, I don't know, what would you call it? Like West Coastiness, the bitiness, the enamel peeling quality of a beer. You have to, there needs to be like I always thought like sour power would be a good thing. Cause acidity not necessarily tells the whole story.
Yeah.
No. But sour power, pucker
But
force,
To your point,
something along those lines, right?
It sounds
Yeah.
like a TV show for kids or something. Pucker Force Unite.
They have their sour ring pops.
Yeah.
That would be it. Ring pops. Has anybody made a beer?
Clamps on their wrists.
Yes. Has anybody made a ring pop with a beer with ring pops?
I'm sure they have.
Sour ring pop. Sour Patch for sure, right?
Oh,
sure,
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, someone here did the sour rope.
Mm-hmm.
B52?
Sounds.
B52 sounds right.
Yeah.
Them or Spindletap or Ingenious has to be one of the three.
Yeah. The axis of sour. Axis of I don't know what's the.
You're going Access Allies? Is that what
Yeah.
you're
Well,
Access?
I just remember W, the axis of evil. The axis. I was thinking the axis of not that that's. I like those beers. The axis of eclectic. I don't know something. Anyway, something way the triad of.
Staying out of it.
Well, they need a T. It's like the triad of. What's a word that starts with T that means to try crazy things? Triad of trying new stuff. That is
Put a pin in that too.
Yeah, need some work.
Circle back.
Yeah, so we'll come back maybe in the bonus section. I don't know. Okay, so juice box, is that what are we doing?
Yeah, this is Juice Box.
Juice Box.
So yeah, this is a double IPA. Also, then we add from Oregon fruit. We get about 200 pounds of pureed mangoes and peaches, and put it in there, and it attenuates pretty dang hard.
I meant to I had notes even like for questions. Ratio of mangoes to peaches. Do y'all have a
Evensies
fixed?
on this one?
50-50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you really get that, like the peach, they're totally different things going on in my mouth. Like, and after you drink it, like you get more. It's like waves of flavor on top of each other.
Yeah.
But it's got that hard stop on the back, that kind of tannic.
Yeah, but that It's that peach echo.
Yeah, just
In the
keeps
back
on
of your, it hits the back of
banging
your neck.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Wherever it goes. I don't know much. I got a C in anatomy. Just enough to pass.
I don't think I
Mouth.
had anatomy.
Yes, I got that far.
Tongue.
But then when you get to the back, you know,
Back of head.
yeah.
Neck.
Then they would leave like the body part, like the plastic one,
You
and
take apart.
You had the numbers on it, and you had to label what that was.
Did you dissect? What all did you dissect? Frogs.
Let's say we did a cat.
We did.
This was community college.
Oh, I'm talking high school. I didn't take enough biology. I didn't. Know
We did a
biology.
frog in high school.
We did frog. We did something bigger.
We did
Pig?
pig's lungs.
Fetal pig.
We
I almost said fecal pig. Fetal pig. We did fetal pig, and I think some people did cats. I don't think I did.
We did one, yeah. Lone Star. I did some classes at Lone Star. I was thinking,
Texas.
I wanted to be I don't know what I wanted to be. My wife was like, you gotta go finish school. Because one thing I figured out once I got to school was that I don't really like school. Once I got into college, wasn't my deal. Sitting in class.
I get it.
I'll bounce around some ideas with you. Go, let's do this. But like homework and papers,
Deadlines.
yeah, is that really necessary? And so I was like, I'll just do, And I was going for radio, TV, and look how that turned out.
Hey, man.
Did both.
Still worked out.
Yeah, and then they didn't have a podcast. You wouldn't want to get a degree in podcasting. It's changed too much in like the last 10 minutes.
Would you want to teach a class in podcast?
Not at all.
Really?
No, I don't want
What
to.
if people paid you?
I mean, then yes, absolutely, I would love it. There's so many podcasts now. Do you know how many podcasts there are?
It's got to be at least 5.
There are. Let me think. What did I just hear? Worldwide, like, surely it's not 700,000.
I don't. It could be
It might
in
be.
all languages. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but
No, well,
Anybody can have a podcast. these
anybody.
days.
Most of them don't have. I think something like 80% don't have over 10 episodes.
yeah.
Most people get
Well, sure, they
started.
try it, and then
Yeah.
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 It's a lot of work.
The problem is you have to have personality
Yeah.
to do it. I couldn't do it.
I
don't talk enough.
Let's just like
He could do it.
Yeah.
Well,
He
no,
can talk
but
enough
no,
at
I-
random.
you got to have subject matter somebody
Mm-hmm.
wants to listen to. You got to have the time and willpower and not willpower, the motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's been your thing, right? Like you're part of the community. It's part of you're kind of what connects everything, because if you don't have that, it's I don't know. I learn a lot by just listening to the podcast, because I'm not able to go hang out at all the breweries, and
Yeah.
we don't we go to a couple guild meetings a year, but
Yeah. And see, like Buffalo Bayou just had a media night this past Monday night. And I wasn't able to go to do that. I would have loved to. But, my schedule, I do stuff in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, because it's a unique ability to do that. And it's allowed me to come to, because, the roads clear up a bit. So, if I had to leave an hour earlier,
Oh, God.
I don't think I would have made it past like 2 episodes with the traffic. And if I had to do it later, it's like, then once kids come along, it's like, well, then you got them. So when they're in school, it's like everything kind of lined up to be able to do it, and just being stubborn.
Well, it's
just keep showing up.
Exactly, it's a unique set of circumstances and your own. So anyway, but I appreciate it. It's cheers.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we love listening to the show.
Thanks. I love doing the show, and I love that y'all love being on the show and listening to the show. So cool. It's all good. I'll be back next week. We'll do another one.
We'll be here.
Actually, next week. Where will I be next week? Is next week Holler? I think I'll be over at Holler.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
questions for the Hollers,
Questions.
or thoughts, or shout outs, or I don't know. I kind of put you on the spot there.
No,
You
we
can-
just so we started getting the can, because now they have cans, so people we don't make it everywhere very often, but we were just there. Oh, with a spelling bee. We
Mhm.
were there for the
Oh,
spelling.
yeah.
But then somebody brought us some Good Clean Fun and another one, so it's kind of nice to be able to get their beer and not have to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like we just can't get over there, and now we can have it. So
Yeah.
congrats to them and John's all his hard work with the TABC getting that.
Yeah.
Getting that resolved.
The spelling bee, I was asked about possibly doing that, and I can't spell. I can't. Like, I'm miserable at it. Like, spell check on the phone, like half the time it shrugs. Like, what are you? I don't even know what word that's supposed to be. I like using big words, but to spell any of them,
When it suggests a word in a different language, you're not on the right path.
yeah, spelling. And maybe it's part of me just over the years just telling myself I can't spell. But, it's like a total disconnect. I love to read. I love to talk. I love to listen to people speak and all that. But when it comes to actually writing a word, I'm stupid. Just the dumbest person I've ever met.
You're like Adam's worst nightmare.
Oh.
What?
He hates bad spelling, bad
First of all,
punctuation,
hate
bad
is not the right
grammar.
word.
Look, you'll know that
He
I
dislikes immensely.
You don't like the word immensely? Is that not a word?
It's like panties.
That's right.
She doesn't like the word panties.
Oh.
And you don't like the word moist, so we all have our word now.
Yeah, unless it's talking about brownies. That's the one exception I'll make for
Hope we're not
moist.
still talking about panties.
Yes. No. Ew. I mean, yeah. No, there's no retribution there. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about moist brownie. You don't want dry brownies. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know the way to save this conversation at this point because all I'm thinking is other things.
Okay. Anyway, desserts. You want a moist dessert.
Agreed.
You don't want it dry.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
True.
There.
Except for, have you had divinity before?
divinity. Maybe. Go on.
Divinity?
I mean, your mom has made it.
It
My
sounds.
grandmother used to make it.
There seems to be. I seem to have a recollection of something.
And I have zero idea what it is. I think it's like sugar and egg whites,
Okay.
and it's whipped, and but when you eat it, it's completely desiccated. It looks like a little iceberg. You know,
Mhm.
it's like this big, and it's got a unique shape because it's whipped. And I think they whip each piece. It's not like you cut it
Okay.
out of it. And so when you bite it, it's like foam almost, like the consistency. It has a hard crust. You bite, and it just dissolves in your mouth like pure marshmallow sugar. But it doesn't taste like a marshmallow.
It's almost like meringue,
Yes.
It's basically meringue.
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's
Egg
what it
whites.
sounds like.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I may have missed something. So somebody out there
Do they
saying,
bake it
I
at
think
all? Like to give it a little crust on it, or like just like?
It's no, but it's dry. It's completely dry. Like it almost is powder when you bite it.
Oh
But it's very good. Anyway, that's not moist.
no.
He's telling a joke without knowing the punchline.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just describing. He said all desserts are moist, and I like to
All good-
contradict people. So.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say dessert jerky.
I don't know what that means. Is that a thing?
Like
or is
I don't know if you have dessert. Like some people, like if you're doing a carnivore diet and you have dessert jerky, like you eat your steak and then you're like, I want a little slice of dessert jerky. It can be any kind of jerky. It's just you eat it after.
But still meat.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's pretty dry,
Okay.
but not too dry.
I thought
So
you turned an apple into jerky or something.
that's just dried fruit.
I know, but I mean, it's a marketing thing. It's new age, and Buc-ee's maybe came up with it. I don't know.
You can do apple smoked jerky. Maybe that's dessert jerky. They do some with like a little maple glaze.
With
on it.
apple wood or with actual apples? You
Probably
can't burn
apple
an
wood.
Yeah, right. Okay. Apple wood.
Yeah,
jerky.
but they'll do like a little cinnamon maple glaze on some like buffalo jerky or something. You know.
We got the thick cut maple bacon for the anniversary this weekend.
Yes.
That stuff is good.
Do you season your bacon?
You know, it's already.
When you buy it
seasoned.
that way, it's usually already
Yeah.
seasoned.
Yeah, because
Does it have
I
the
went to the
cinnamon and stuff
butcher
on it?
and they didn't have.
Oh,
no
that's a good
cinnamon.
idea.
Yes. That's
It's
a way.
just like pepper and.
Wait, so you do a little cinnamon on it?
Okay, so what I'll do typically is
Now we're getting to sweaty balls conversation. Did you put cinnamon on this?
yes. So one, the best way to do a lot of bacon, cookie sheet,
Yeah.
In
with
the
the
oven.
With the
350.
with the upper. You do it with the upper grate, right?
The dry rack with a
The
rack.
dry rack.
Not no.
Oh,
Some
man.
I'll do like foil and parchment paper, and then just the
So it's try it both ways, but you're cooking it in its own filth. You're cooking it in the grease.
in the flavor.
Flavor.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, if you kind of
You also eat turkey bacon. Just caveat for everybody trying to.
I don't make it. I eat it. I'm just saying they're both good. I guess technically, when you do it on the drying rack, it's somewhere between jerky and regular bacon. But go ahead, sir.
Well, how do you like your bacon though? Do you like it crispy or chewy?
Extra crispy.
Okay, so if you like it more on the soft, succulent, chewy, like melt in your mouth type, leave it in the grease a little bit.
Right.
But you can't. That is not as good as doing it on like a charcoal grill off the fire, obviously, because if you do it on the coals, it just bursts into flames. But if you do it off, like the coals on one side and then just a couple strips on the very other side of the grill, and you constantly flip it, and it takes a long time. But that actually does, like the whatever that the dessert, the meringue or whatever it was you call it will actually you put it on your tongue, and just kind of
Dissolves.
dissipate. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We have
I do-
we have a patron that comes in here that makes me candied bacon with the bourbon and maple syrup
Yeah.
and cayenne pepper, and it's so good.
Yeah, that's what we'll do: a tray of bacon, and then you not salt. It's already got enough salt, but pepper. Typically, I think like winter dessert spice, like cinnamon and also little allspice, little clove, maybe ginger, nutmeg, and then maybe some ancho chili powder if I want a little like hint of savory, but kind of fruity into savory kind of deal. And then you can also brush it with a little maple syrup just to get everything to adhere, but not too
Feel
much.
free to bring some of that next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'd be better.
That's the price of admission.
Yeah. Do you have an oven around? Is
Here?
there? Yeah, somewhere. Something that can be used as an oven. A box with some heat.
I mean, we could bring a little microwave in.
No. I need
Don't
Oh, you mean our
microwave.
toaster oven?
something.
We could bring a toaster oven?
Yeah, anything with heat, like a insulated box with heat. We could
Good
build
fashion
one.
one.
Yeah, open fire, chop down that magnolia tree over there,
Yeah, let's do it.
fashion the
That's one thing you do at breweries is make things
Yeah.
with fire and pipes.
They wouldn't miss that tree.
No.
I'm sure they didn't spend $500 or whatever planning that.
It came with the house.
Is that still a house? I thought, are those a
Townhouse.
townhome?
Townhomes.
What's going in across the street? They're busy building it currently.
Yeah.
Y'all know yet?
Montessori
International preschool.
Oh.
On that sign says it.
Oh, that's the same. That's all that is theirs.
Yep.
The parking lot that used to be there is.
So it is going to be a parking lot, but the school is to the right.
Have you talked to them yet about
not.
doing like Parents' Day out? They could send the kids over there, and the parents could come over
That's a
here.
good idea. We should.
Yeah,
We should.
and international parents. Do they all have to be international, or they're getting international education? What makes it international?
You could adopt a child that's international. I actually don't know. I assume it's the education.
I think it's education.
Because there's other schools in Houston like that where you learn like 2 languages at the same time you're doing all your normal schooling. And, as long as they start young, kids can learn anything.
Yeah. Okay. I thought they had to be from other places and they came here.
I don't think that is that.
I don't know.
That not? I don't know. It seems like that'd be judging a person by their race, but
Well,
maybe.
Well, there's
Geo-
like where you go overseas and there's expat schools.
yeah.
Sure.
Somebody's bringing a bag of something.
It's not for us.
No. Payway, go into the back.
Oh, okay.
It's payway.
Oh, we should have just let him bring it in.
Yeah, we should.
Trade you some turkey for that. You always ask, did you get my payment? And if he nods yes, then you get a free lunch. Or just the price of a tip.
That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like he's working hard. Manny. I'm assuming his name is Manny. That's what's on his back.
I think his shirt said Manny Pacquiao, didn't it?
Ah. That's him.
Hold
That's
on,
what he-
let's look right
That's what he
there.
looks like.
Right there.
That's what he does
Manny-
between.
yeah.
That's what he does between.
I don't think
fights.
that's Manny Pacquiao.
Oh. Could be.
He doesn't look Filipino.
Oh. Whatever. So, who's judging who?
Yeah.
Right?
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm no more comments.
Okay. Okay, so I wanted to make sure in my notes that I left over there and don't have in front of me. Wanted to make sure we mentioned your hours here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fridays, what did I see? 4 to 10.
That's right.
Saturdays, 11 to 10.
That's right.
And Sundays were 11 to 8.
Noon date.
Oh, so close.
Blue laws.
Yeah.
Blue laws, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'd have to serve food or
Yeah, we
something,
have to
right?
have hot dogs or something.
Yeah. Or
Why
pay.
hot dogs?
Well, I mean,
Food.
I just went in the drink of ages.
Do they? Oh, is that how they get around it?
Well, no, they have hot dogs. I don't know. They
Yeah,
just
that's
have that
how
little hot dog.
That's how they get around it.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying they always have hot dogs. I don't know if that's why they're doing it. It's
They're-
a nice bar snack.
their hot dog is a front
Oh.
for their. What?
Oh, we have popcorn. I don't
Oh.
think that counts.
Oh,
Does it
why
have to be
not?
a-
Can we put bacon on it?
No, I don't.
Chop.
I think it's something you have to make.
You have to have a.
You don't make the popcorn?
Well, when we put bacon on it,
No.
but now we've made it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't make
If
eggs.
you
You,
put it
buy
in-
eggs and then you make egg.
Right. You
know.
have a chicken
And
out
you
there.
make the eggs.
Yeah, but I mean,
You're not
I'm just
serving
saying.
an
It seems
egg
like
to a
semantics.
person.
When we're on a golf course at 10 a.m., you buy crackers and you get a beer. So
That's
Talk
true.
to TABC if that's a loophole.
Yeah, I think out at the Ren Fair, you buy a kolache and get a beer for free at 6 a.m. or whatever it is.
nice.
Yeah. Or something. I don't know how that works,
Thought
though.
it had to be after 10, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That's silly.
Rules.
That's the next law. It needs to get changed, but I don't know that that's going to be a high priority.
No. What do you think? What do you think will be the next thing that changes, if anything? You think?
maybe
like-
that one. I think that one's on the docket, isn't it?
It's on the. I want to say it's on the docket every 2 years, but I don't. It doesn't. I'm almost positive it was this last time. I remember seeing it. And there were some other cool ones, but it's not even
Like
close
liquor
to
stores on
making it
Sundays
past
and
the
stuff.
committee or whatever they call it.
What do you think it would be the highest priority from y'all's perspective? Like, if you could change any law, what do you think? I mean, just
I don't like the. I mean, personally, I don't know what you think. I don't like. It's kind of annoying that we have to go through label approval just to have someone, to like have a keg at a festival or something.
right.
like why we're not sending bottles and cans to HEB, Kroger, and the people are going and not knowing what they're getting and grabbing, and so I don't know. It kind of, if I could change anything, that would be nice, because then we could have beer that's not just only purchased here without going through approval. Because honestly, we like to tweak the beers. I mean, and in this small system, the ABVs shift slightly, and it's hard to, without going through. There are some loopholes that some people use, but anyway, that one annoys me.
Yeah.
Because it would be nice to participate in some of these festivals that we just can't do because you have to pay for your beer.
Right.
You can't do that.
Yeah, and almost from a principled standpoint, that just, I'm not gonna, for me anyway, I'm not gonna pay for that. It's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, festivals, I feel like that whole thing is, maybe it's just me, like, I get to get out to all the breweries, so.
Yeah.
It's not so much like the big, huge, necessarily, although, people invite us and it's like, we'd like to go, but it's more so when you have, 4 or 5, 10 Houston small craft breweries, our friends, and they're all going to do it. And it's just, we don't really go through the process just to, we honestly would be almost willing to give it away, but we can't because they charge tickets to get in, and then you can't then give your beer because then they technically paid for it and it needs to go through a label process.
I wonder if there'd be a way to get around that. Like, if you buy the T-shirt, you get the ticket for free. Could they do something along those lines? Buy this $50 T-shirt.
I think as long as you're, I don't, but that would be, you'd have to, the festival or whoever was doing it would have to agree that everyone's going to work that way. That you're only buying T-shirts and getting tickets for beers, and even then the TABC could still probably, because they're enforcement. They say, we don't write the laws, but we interpret them.
Right.
So, whatever.
You brought up a thing that I wanted. That was one of the things I had on my notes. I do remember this. So you said tweaking the beers, like with say like Mashing Horn. I heard I was listening to a podcast on the way here, and it was a guy that he had written a book 10 years ago, and he was re-releasing it, but he had changed a lot, and he talked about wordsmithing. Like, he goes, things that we talked about 10 years ago don't really pertain to what we do now. It's like, I don't know, emails and whatever, that sort of, especially technology type things. With your beer smithing, it's like you're actually working the beer, right? How much has, like, say, Mashing Horn, how much has it changed since the beginning? Like, is it an ongoing process, or is it?
We have that freedom as a brew pub, right? That's part of what's nice about it. But to be honest, there's probably, what would you say, maybe 4 or 5 material changes we made to recipes since we started, if that.
Yeah, I think the recipes don't change. It's the way we use the equipment that has changed.
Yeah, true.
Learning how to use it. Yeah, learning how to use it better, more efficiently, and I think that's changed the brewing process. But for the most part, the recipes have not changed, with the exception of probably maybe a few that we've.
Yeah, we've played with a few of the dry hop. Yeah, a few of the dry hops. We've played with. I don't know if we've messed with really any of the water profiles much, but. It's just it's slight. It's not a lot. Yeah. By no means, if you're drinking a Mashing Horn now, you say this tastes totally different than it did. It should not. We're always trying to make it better, right? So, like she said, if we're leaving, maybe we're doing we're doing the whirlpool a little longer or less long, or we're doing a slightly longer boil to try to eliminate some things. That's that was part of us just learning, having not really had strong brewing backgrounds. We had homebrew, but not not working commercially. There was always going to be some. There's always going to be some learning curve, and so we're always just trying to make them a little bit better, but not really change them,
right?
Other than to just improve,
just tweak and
things. Yeah.
Okay. I'm always curious about that. It's like
because usually if we want to make it drastically different, we just make a new beer.
That makes sense.
Because we can, because it doesn't matter, and if it sells slow, then we just don't make that one again, or which we haven't really had that happen. We've been lucky that there's always been an audience for something. There's nothing that we haven't wanted to make again. Because it didn't sell,
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Is there anything, Sarah, perhaps that you haven't brewed yet that, style-wise or some sort of process-wise or a hop-wise, I don't know, that you're kind of...
He knows what I'm going to say. I want to make a black IPA.
Yeah.
And
where did I have one? Oh, you know where I had one?
Where's that?
True Anomaly.
Yeah. Did they do one?
They have one.
They didn't have one when we were in there.
Yeah.
Did they?
I've got to go check that out.
Yeah.
It might have been.
We were just there like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Not even. Yeah.
When was I there? I don't know. I'd have to go look at the podcast.
About the same time.
Yeah.
You were there like, I would say 2-3 days after
yeah.
we were.
Yeah, I think they had just put it on.
Okay.
Missed that.
Maybe was that it? That's it. That's it.
I mean, people are very thrown by colors of beer, and I feel like now would probably be the time to do it with it being cold, and people associate dark with cold. And,
Yeah.
But I've wanted to do one of those for a while.
That style or that genre, the black IPA, the Cascadian dark IPA, whatever you want to call it. It's I guess you don't like to call it Cascadian if you use Cascade hops.
No.
Or is that
That's
just
not about the?
It's not about that.
No.
Okay. See, you learn something every time on the show. It's I don't know. There's some that I've had that are just magical, where they combine that roasty element, and then there's some that it was like, ooh,
I know. That's
harsh.
That's what we've partially talked about, and partially why she's been. We've been talking about doing it for a little bit, and it's finding the right combo, because I totally agree with the roast. When you're dealing with caramel malt, chocolate malt, and the acidity that comes from the malt, and I know you can use dehusked and all that, but then the hop profile really is important, more so than usual, I think, of it not being something that's off-putting.
Yeah.
Personally, but that and a Belgian strong dark ale that we used to make at home that we haven't done, we were trying to get done this winter. I don't know if we're going to, but I'd like to.
Is that a Belgian?
It's like a quad.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a more generic.
Yeah.
You don't have the exact same. You're not necessarily using a Trappist yeast, but it's similar.
Yeah, I feel like, and again, talking of true anomaly, I feel like the Belgian side of things is about to have a bit of a resurgence.
I could totally see that.
Because it was the genre before before the explosion, like when you first got into craft like 10 years ago, I guess, and we're reading books and stuff, people raved about Belgian beers, like actual from Belgium Belgian beers, and the Trappist beers, like this is, and we've gone in these other places, and it's been fun. These journeys have been fun, but I feel like
that's part of what's fun about beer, right? Like
Yeah.
It's a meandering thing, and it's always going to be, as long as it's alive, there's going to be a push in one direction, and you're going to get new things that are cool, like what we've had with the hazies. Some of it's not good. Some of it is good. It'll distill down to the good stuff, and then we'll move on to something else,
Yeah.
and then 10 years from now it may come back around again. But, I mean, I was just at Specs yesterday downtown, the Mecca Specs, and there's still a whole shelf. I mean, basically an entire aisle on one side that's nothing but the Belgians, and I just wanted to buy them all. Like I just, because I mean, I had them all. It's just you don't go and buy that necessarily, but during the holidays, particularly, I don't know, the stronger stuff, and just and wanting to have more time to drink beer, I could have filled my whole cart up. And you mentioned about how Belgians may be coming back. The black IPAs are like that too, honestly, right? I mean, they were hot. I don't know. 4 years ago, 3-4
for
years
about
ago.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and then it kind of died, and you haven't seen hardly any. And
It's because hazies took over.
probably
something. Yeah, they
and a black hazy doesn't work. People have tried it. It looks gross.
Yeah, and then
swamp
they
water.
tried throwing glitter in it. And then it just did. I don't know, but I think the black IPAs, I think that's one of those ones that I don't think it got a deep enough dive. And so I hope y'all do make one. Whenever you do, I'm going to come drink it. And
We'll let you know.
okay, we'll do it. All right, we'll schedule it then. Well, there's not that that'll be our next show necessarily, because who knows when it'll be, but when you do it, that'll be a show, even if it's been a week later.
I've told you I so badly want to come up to the Liquid Lunch at the studio and do that sometime. So if we could ever figure that out, we could bring some crowlers and do that. But
Okay.
she went up to get the cocoa nibs for Stone Temple Porter.
Oh, that's Again, that's what I
Teos
need to know.
chocolate,
Yes, up
and
in
it's
Tomball.
kind of in the rough direction. Right?
From here, that's everything like south of the Beltway is in town. That's from where we are. Yeah, that's in town. Got to go in town today.
Yeah.
So Tomball. Yeah, and that, man, they've got some good barbecue
They do.
and good chocolate, and that place is pretty awesome. So how did that come about?
Just looking
you-
for the best. We don't know. We
you-
didn't know
you
them.
just
I mean,
call
we just and right.
I think we had heard that St. Arnold's had
others
used them.
Others definitely. I mean, other breweries definitely use
Yeah.
it. But
It's
it was just
local and
Yeah,
why not go with the best if they were local?
it's pretty cool with that. I mean, you've been up there, right? You went in and
I have. I've
Okay.
seen the whole back and the whole process that they
Yeah.
do. It's very cool.
yeah. Did you get to eat like a barbecue sandwich or something?
I did. This last time I went, I stayed for lunch, and that
right.
was, I finally understood what everybody was,
Yeah.
all the fuss was about.
It's one of those places
Very
like
good.
you can't go too late in the day because then
Yep.
they're out, and that's the way you want it. You want you want to be like hungry for more, like literally, like not hungry when you're not going to be hungry when you leave.
No.
You're going to be.
No.
You're going to be. It's one of those meals where you're like, oh, that was.
Am I safe to drive?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those, and
Yeah.
so yeah. Next time, if you go up there, if you have to get another batch, let me know. I'll meet you over there.
Okay. He still hasn't had it. And,
Oh, well, we
I
need to-
know. I'm always working when she goes to get it.
You know,
It's during the week.
Yeah, I've had a no, whatever. I'm not gonna talk.
It's worth the drive. We should just go up there and have the barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Put in a vacation day. Let me
And
know.
now the hamburgers, because they opened a hamburger joint.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Tomball.
It's blowing up.
It is a little bit. Tomball, Spring. Woodlands not so much because it's too expensive to do anything in the Woodlands. It's all high end, like meh.
Might as well just go to Conroe.
Exactly. Conroe and maybe like Montgomery and Magnolia and that area. Everything around the Woodlands is they've kind of messed themselves up. If you like Lamborghinis and high end, boring, whatever.
Tree streets.
Yeah, treed streets and kids that drive BMWs and Corvettes and stuff to high school.
Yeah.
If that's what you're into, then the Woodlands is for you.
If you're a high school kid, you probably are into that.
Probably. and those are the type of those high school kids call the shots for the parents. They're like, okay, whatever you want. That seems to be the main thing in the Woodlands, and it shows in a lot of ways. But I mean, the Woodlands is fine. I like trees. Foliage. This was a great year for foliage. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The Woodlands. This was a good fall season to be in that area. Foliage.
They were the first community to reject the original suburb thing of you cut the trees down and then name the streets after them.
Yeah.
They just kept the trees and
Yeah.
did that. And
Yeah.
named the streets.
Do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember this, but they were going to have a flying saucer out there, but then they rejected it.
Because I do remember that because it was after Sugarland had gotten. This
I
was
think it's-
probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it might have been before Sugarland got there.
Was it really?
Or about the time they were deciding where they were going to build, and maybe Sugarland and then they wanted to do the Woodlands right away. I don't remember how the timeline on that, but basically it was. I don't know what exactly happened. The word on the streets in the Woodlands is if you go in those back alleys in the Woodlands,
Yes.
that the people that owned the bars there at the time kicked in a lot of money to keep which makes sense. But
Beer distributor type work.
something like that, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's
Who
whole other.
knows?
I'm sure there's like a Woodlands only podcast. It's probably all shot in 4K and Dolby Atmos surround audio.
Definitely not $12 microphones.
No. Thanks you just blew up my spot.
Oh.
It's all about
this
the
microphone's more tape than microphone.
It's exactly right. Actually, people, if you're looking to start a podcast, don't spend big bucks on your microphone to start out with. There's some high-end microphones and they sound good, and it's they're worth getting eventually, but you don't need to. Actually, they discontinued it. I'm upset. They discontinued this microphone.
Oh no.
So I have to go. It's actually like a $13 microphone.
Ugh.
So now I have to go up to like the $18 microphone. But I'm kind of just saving.
That's not happening.
No, I need to.
Just add more tape.
That's the Patreon. That's what we have Patreon for.
Exactly. I just need
Plug.
I just need 50 more patrons to jump on there so I can get there quicker. First things first, computer. Then there's some other things. As things wear out, I've had to replace, and nobody wants to hear about that. Actually, you want to wrap here, and then we can come back for like a minute of, I don't know, what time did you need to go? You had to
Sure.
be back
No,
at
it's
work
good.
at this time, and
No, it's good.
The thing.
We get a little splash of something else
yeah.
and wrap it up.
Yeah, eventually I've got to leave too. I always forget about that part. It's like,
Sarah-
hey, I'm here for all day, except for now I gotta go, and then you scream,
Sarah was starting to keg when you got here, so she's still got to actually, do some brew
do
work
some
here.
work. Yeah, work's so overrated. All right, well, let's wrap it here, and then we're gonna do some exclusive Patreon only, super juicy, not just the IPAs, but the talk, just hazy talk, right? Hazy, juicy IP talk. I don't know. That was horrible. All right, so we'll wrap this episode here. It's been, as always, a pleasure to sit and chat with you guys.
Likewise.
And we'll do some more of it. That's how pleasurable it's been. We'll come back for a second deal. But all right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything people need to know? The what do you call them? I was going to say something about people like the normal people, the regular people, not the select few. What's the word?
The elite.
The elite.
Oh, no, the
patron-
opposite?
Yeah, what's the opposite of that?
Bourgeoisie.
Yeah, yeah. That's the
Common folk.
Yeah, the common folk that aren't hip to the Patreon subscription that get all the exclusive juicy stuff like beer release. Like there's some exclusive stuff that's been on Patreon that paid to know ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But what anything you need to tell the masses other than come on, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, watch on social, watch the website for beer releases.
Yeah, I mean the food, whatever you have, but the food we have is, I mean, it's always been good, but it just gets better every month because she's sort of whoever does well and the patrons like, we invite them back and there's just some, you can on our social media we post who's going to be here every weekend a few days ahead of time, and I highly encourage you to look at that and pick something you like and come out.
Yeah, not just trucks. We've got new pop-ups coming up that are not that have a community but aren't established as a food source. So they'll be here, and I think that'll be awesome.
And they have been here a couple times. I mean, they just come in the first time. It's the same thing as brewing. It's like you come in and it's you're very motivated, like we were talking about, to make the best possible food you can make, right? Yeah. And those, especially, we like the pop-ups too. We like the trucks too. It just depends on which one and how it works with our setup. Mm-hmm. But Sarah has brought up before how, just like with a brewery, and we're directly connected to the clientele here at the bar, and she's here, most of the time as an owner. That with a pop-up, you get the same thing. They're on the ground with you. You're having a conversation with the person who owns it or the chef. Whereas with a food truck, if there's multiple ones, sometimes that's not who you're dealing with, and you're kind of dealing through a window. But again, that's not always the case. There's some that work here, but we're liking some of what we got going on with the pop-ups now. So highly recommend you come out and check it out.
Yeah. There you go.
2020 is going to be a good year.
It is going to be a good year. I can see it.
Living in the future.
Clearly.
2020. Can you? Is that the first time you used it?
Today. Yeah. On this episode. All right, everybody, come to Baileson and get some STP while it lasts, I guess, because it won't be around forever. That's the nature of beer. And any of the other delicious, the Scottsdale, that apostrophe.
Scottsdale.
Dale. Scottsdale.
Like the city in Arizona.
Exactly.
Micropause, Scottsdale.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a staccato.
Yes. Staccato. That's a musical term.
That's how you pronounce it. Apostrophe.
What do you want to talk about in the bonus stuff? So just to give people a tease.
It's a teaser?
Yeah.
Wet their palate.
Get it nice and moist.
I don't think it's wet. I think it's wet like wet a knife, right? You're sharpening a knife to do something with it. It's W-H-E.
This is what you're in for.
We're going to go deep on words. All right. Well, go subscribe on Patreon for that. And come visit Baileson. Adam and Sarah are waiting for you. So for them and for me, I'm Josh. Thanks for listening. This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
I thought there might be a pause right before you hit the button. I was going to go, kaboom!
You just did. Patreon, y'all.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.